Good happy Saturday evening. I'm Riley King and welcome to Good Evening, New Hampshire. Let's get started. First up, Hillary Clinton to visit Granite State with James Taylor. With just days to go before election, Democratic presidential Hillary Clinton will be campaigning in Manchester, New Hampshire with singer-songwriter James Taylor. Clinton will deliver a speech at the Radisson Hotel after a performance by Taylor. Clinton will also be joined by Democratic governor candidate Maggie Hassan. The event is scheduled for 8:15 p.m., but the doors open at 5:45 p.m. Cigarette sparks fire at Mall of New Hampshire Friday. The Manchester Fire Department battled flames at Men's Warehouse at the Mall of New Hampshire Friday afternoon. Mall employees called the fire department just before 5:30 p.m., reporting fire and smoke in the wall of the store, officials said. Firefighters discovered a fire in the exterior wall of Men's Warehouse and began removing interior and exterior walls to extinguish the flames, officials said. The mall was evacuated for about 40 minutes while fire crews worked. Once the fire was out, crews worked to vent smoke out from Men's Warehouse, the Apple store, and the hallway adjacent to Men's Warehouse, officials said. Officials believe the fire started after someone threw a cigarette in the mulch outside the store. An estimated $10,000 worth of damage was caused by the fire, officials said. Hispanic early voter turnout in Nevada could bode well for Clinton. Let's take a listen to this video from ABC News.
Hey babe, take a walk on the wild side. Said, hey honey, take a walk on the wild side.
Can't believe it. Here we are, T-minus 3 days until the election, and Hillary Clinton is waking up this morning with what can be characterized as a clear but not entirely comfortable lead. According to our latest ABC News tracking poll there, the number is Clinton up by 4 points, 47 to 43.
The two candidates with two very different strategies in these final hours and days. There was Hillary overnight with Jay-Z and Beyonce. I believe the pantsuit squad was nearby as well.
Standing by in the wings.
Standing by, ready to dance. Meantime, surrogates, including President Obama and former President Clinton, fanning out across the battleground states. Donald Trump, by contrast, going it mostly alone, pointing out overnight that he was still able to draw a large crowd with no big celebrities by his side.
A point of pride for him. So what is the outlook as we near the end of this long and, for many of us, intensely anxiety-provoking campaign? Our analysts are standing by, but we're going to start here this morning with ABC's Cecilia Vega, who's been covering the Clinton campaign from the start and is ready for a nap. Cecilia, good morning to you.
Can I just sleep right here?
Yes, you can.
Good morning.
After you tell us what's happening.
Thank you. Well, you said it. It is hard to believe, but we are now down to just hours before Election Day. Hillary Clinton, in her final push, has that well-oiled Democratic machine out in force on this last weekend. Nearly 1 million volunteers across the country knocking on doors, making calls, trying to get to a record number of voters and get them to the polls, not to mention calling in some famous friends.
Overnight in the battleground of Ohio, the campaign trail looked like this. Queen Bee making a surprise appearance at a Get Out the Vote rally for Hillary Clinton, wearing none other than a pantsuit of her own. The superstar not only offering her singing praise.
Less than 100 years ago, women did not have the right to vote. Look how far we've come from having no voice to being on the brink of making history.
But also her ringing endorsement.
I want my daughter to grow up seeing a woman lead our country. I'm with her.
The power couple in Cleveland,
We are on the doorsteps of history.
where Clinton joined them backstage before stepping into the spotlight.
I am so energized after this concert. And I gotta say, didn't you love the pantsuits?
Potential payoff for Clinton, huge. Thousands lined up for a coveted ticket distributed not at all by chance, right next to a polling site. Her final push, a star-studded affair. From Stevie Wonder in Philadelphia to Mark Cuban in Pittsburgh. Even former foe Bernie Sanders in Ohio, Vice President Joe Biden in Wisconsin, and President Obama jumping in the fray in North Carolina, mincing no words about Trump's own words.
Who calls women pigs and dogs and slobs. It's like suddenly reality TV has entered into the race for the presidency.
And Clinton is now calling in more big names. Katy Perry joins her tonight. Tomorrow, LeBron James. Clinton heads back to Ohio tomorrow. This will be her 4th trip there in just the last couple of weeks. That shows you how valuable that battleground is.
Cavalcade of stars for her. Cecilia, thank you. We know you'll be with her every...
Okay, and there you go on that report. "28 hours leading the Mosul attack under fire, then trapped." Let's take a listen to this video from CNN.
This is Mosul, where Iraqi troops are now fighting house to house, trying to defeat ISIS, push them out. Listen to these words. They are the raw notes sent to us from our senior international correspondent, Arwa Damon. She was right in the middle of all of this violence and this chaotic gun battle. Again, these are her words. Let me read them for you. Quote, "A massive flash of orange, a massive explosion just when we were stopped. My ears are ringing. The door to the MRAP couldn't come up fast enough. Everyone coughing from the dust and the dirt kicked up. Out the back window, I saw a family running with kids. It was a suicide car bomber," they said. "I can't stop thinking about that family and all of the others." Let's go live to Arwa Damon. Those were her words. She is now safe in the city of Erbil, Iraq, just about 55 miles away from where this all happened. Arwa, you and your photographer, 24 hours, you're stuck in the middle of this. I read the entirety of your notes. It's remarkable. Talk to me about living through it. You've covered so many war zones. How was this different?
Well, Poppy, our photographer, cameraman, Breeslin, and I were with this unit of Iraqi counterterrorism forces, and what happened was ISIS ambushed them in a very complex attack on one of these narrow streets that they were going down, and they managed to split the convoy in two. I have to say that this is the most harrowing experience that I personally have ever been through, despite having covered war zones for more than a decade. What happened was, once they managed to split the convoy in two, initially with gunfire, rocket-propelled grenades, they then began to systematically take out the convoy's vehicles, Humvees and MRAPs, starting on both ends and moving towards those that were in the middle. They were in the building right behind where all of us had spent.
That you sent back in the midst of all of this, you talk about the family with their children. Do you know what happened to them?
The family that we were with, that we spent the night with, they didn't want to be filmed. They were very friendly, they were very welcoming, but at the same time they were terrified. Overnight, we were chatting, we were laughing, we were joking, but then in the morning when the ISIS counterattack began, they were crying, they were hiding under the staircase, they were trying to leave the house to go to their neighbors because they thought they would be safer there. They made a few attempts to run out, but the gunfire kept driving them back. One of them even able to say good, just 19 years old, and she was home. This two-pop upstairs room. He threw a grenade. He says 2 of them were killed. One of them grabbed for the gun, shot the soldier in the leg. So they are hiding amongst the civilian population. They are using the civilian population as fighting positions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Now let's take a look at your weather now. Here's a live look on radar right now. As you see on radar, we have a few clouds and a few sprinkles of shower moving into New Hampshire for tonight and later on today early morning. And now let's take a look at your weather on our weather system. And your weather on our weather system, your wind speed peak is 2 miles per hour. Average is 1, current is 1 in between northwest and north. Your temperature is 44 degrees. Humidity is 83%. Your dew point is 39 degrees. Your forecast is rain. Your pressure is 29.89. Now let's take a look at your next 7-day forecast. And here's a look at your next 7-day forecast. And a reminder, don't forget to fall back. Move your clocks back. We fall back tonight. Don't forget to do that with your clocks before you go to bed. And that does it for Good Evening New Hampshire right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your evening. Good night, everyone. Bye.